Oh my gosh. I can already tell I'm not going to like talking in this room. The room I'm in right now is very closed off and echoey. And I can already tell I'm not going to like it. So that sucks. But we just going to keep going anyway, because I'm pretty sure you can't hear it. And that's okay. So let me set up my live per usual. Oh, no, that's not the topic. What up, Facebook? What up, Instagram? Today's topic, hold on. Typing this on Facebook. Okay. Today's topic, you will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter if this doesn't change. And of course, I'm going to tell you that this, but I'm typing, you will always be in, oops. You will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter. Just typing on Instagram. What up, Instagram? Because today's topic, you will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter if this doesn't change. And of course, we're going to talk about this. Did I spell everything right? I hope I did. You will always, dang it. How do I delete that? Nope. Okay, hold on. You will always be in, not been, be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter if this doesn't change. Happy Thursday, right? Is today Thursday? Happy Thursday, Instagram. Happy Thursday, Facebook. Okay. Yep, you will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships. I wish it would let me, lame. It won't let me delete the, boom. Okay, today's topic. Live on Facebook, live on Instagram. The next 30, 40 minutes, we are going to be talking about this. Hey, Marcy, you will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter if this doesn't change. And of course, we're going to talk about what the this is from my lens, from my perspective, okay? This conversation today is for the woman who you have your life together, career-wise, financially, you're doing all right, but you're steady letting men walk all over you. And you're left wondering, why is that? Like, how can I have like my professional life together, my career, but my love life is trash? Why do I continue in this cycle? Why am I here? That is who this conversation is for today. If you feel like that, you got this side together, but for some reason, this love life of yours, you cannot get together. And you're in this cycle of what I call dysfunctional relationships, where men are leaving you feeling empty. You are pouring into men, and yet you are left feeling empty. Okay. Right now, that's where you are. So that's who this conversation is for today. Okay. And let me okay, I have that up. I just got to get my notes. I got to get my notes. Okay. Here's where you want to be. I want to be happy single, and I want to not have my identity tied into a man. I don't want to keep searching for relationships. I'm hoping that I can be happy just single, and I want God to show me who to be with. And I want to be okay if I get to 75 and single. But where you are, well, right now you're in a relationship with a man or in a cycle of dysfunction and situationships with men, and you're trying to break free from that. But you're very insecure, very emotional. Your love life is horrible. But like I said, your career, great. You're financially good, but your love life is trash. That's where you are. My question to you is, what's stopping you from being the woman you actually want to be? What's stopping you from being the woman who is happily single, the woman who can date from that seat? Knowing who you are, dating from the seat of, I'm good and I won't settle until I get the actual type of relationship that I want, which I'm sure would not be dysfunctional. Hello, Facebook user. So whoever just said hello on Facebook, just so you know, I can't see your name because I'm live on StreamYard. And so what you'll have to do is this video, go to the description and you'll see the link and it'll say, give Rika permission to see your name. And then I'll be able to see your name. And that's on Facebook. Instagram, I can see all your names. But if you want me to see your name on Facebook, you're going to have to click that link so I can say hi back. So hello to you. All right. So I'm just going to start from the beginning because I see we have some more viewers. So if you're just tuning in, shout out to my Prince shirt. So today's topic. The next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about this. You will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter if this doesn't change. So obviously, I'm talking to the woman who wants to change and stop the cycle of dysfunction, okay? Today, I am talking to the woman who has their life together, career-wise, you good, you financially, you doing all right, but you're steady letting men walk all over you and leave you feeling empty, and you are left in your own thoughts, wondering why is that? How can I have my professional life together, but not my love life? So if you are there and you want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, if you want to figure out how to do that, and you want to answer that question, the question that you have, how can I have my professional life together, but my love life is trash, and I let men walk all over me? I don't understand that. I'm going to try to answer that for you today. So my name is Rika, and I am the founder of Single You, the podcast, and the creator of Single You Academy. As the Single Girls Life Coach, I'm a certified NLP life coach, and I help single professional women in their 30s and 40s, usually, stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships with men. I help you discover your worth so that you can stop tying your worth and identity to men. So who are my clients? Women who feel like they spend so much time, effort, and money pouring into men, and you feel like you don't ever get that type of dynamic in return. And you're left wondering, what is it about myself that I keep attracting these types of relationships? And how do I solve that so I don't stay in this toxic, dysfunctional cycle? So if that's you, stick around. We're going to talk about that. Okay. So one of the first things, so like I said, the topic today is you will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter if this doesn't change your mindset. Number one, your mindset around how you view being single. Think about this. What has society and or religion taught you about being single? They taught you something about being single that makes you think singleness is a punishment. It makes you think I'm in some kind of waiting room, some purgatory period, and life, true joy and happiness doesn't start until I get the man. You find pure joy in saying, I have a boyfriend, but you do not find pure joy in saying that you're single. Why is that? What has society, the culture, religion taught you about being single that makes you think that way? Here's one of the things that religion taught me. You know how the scripture says it's not good for a man to be alone? Ooh, the old Christians and saints love to be like, girl, where your man at? Because they're basing the fact that you're single on that scripture and making you feel like you are not good, you are not worthy until you get a man because God said. And because you're really not close to your Bible, you don't read your Bible, you have not really broken down that scripture. And I'll just say this, it has nothing to do with being in a romantic relationship. Yes, we need community, but you do not need a man. Is it Tamara tweets? It's taught us our value is tied to a relationship. Exactly. Exactly. I can end the live right here, but I promised you 30 minutes. Because the topic is you will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter if this doesn't change. This is your mindset. What up, Lori? So you see how you have to change your mindset around being single. And I know you think your mindset has changed, but if you're here, I would argue if you're on my platform, you ingest my content, I would argue it's because you're in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or one with that same guy, let's call him Tony, and you're in this cycle of trying to pour into him, pour into these men and build them up to become the man you need him to be. When he has demonstrated to you over and over again, time and time again, that that's not him. You don't truly understand Maya Angelou's quote, when people show you who they are, believe them. So I'm independent woman, I'm this, I love myself, know yourself, know your worth. You think you do, but yet you're in this cycle of dysfunction with men. So I would argue you don't know who you are and you don't know your value. And you have a negative understanding of what single is. So here's what you're currently doing to try to break this cycle. Willpower. Well, I know what I want, so I'm going to just hold out. And then the next time Tony calls you, says all the words you want to hear, you let him right back in. The Bible says, guard your heart. You ain't doing none of that. Here's another thing you're trying. Advice from friends. And so you could have either or. You could have one friend who's like, girl, you need to leave him. Woo, 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 woo. Or you can have another friend, girl, to get over one guy, all you need to do is get under another. How well is that working out for you? Because even the friends with good intention, if they don't know nothing about relationships, if they don't know nothing about the psychology of relationships, if they don't know how to actually help you connect the dots from he's treating me like trash, I know I should leave, but then you don't, I would argue how well is that working out for you because you are sitting here on my platform ingesting my content. So that lets me know you are in some form of a dysfunctional relationship. People who are happy in their singleness ain't watching me because I ain't talking to them, but I'm talking to you. Here's another thing you currently do. Trusting he gonna change. I wish I could spin all the way around. This is what you're doing to try to stop this cycle of dysfunctional relationships. But it will never stop if you don't change your mindset. But I know you don't know how. That's why you're here. And we're going to talk about how you can do that if you don't know where to start. But first, I wanted to help you shift, change that perspective, something you are unaware of. Because of course, if I asked you, do you want a dysfunctional relationship or do you want a happy, loving relationship? You're going to choose the happy and loving. You just don't know how to get there. You don't realize your thoughts. You don't realize this. I always say this quote because it's one of my favorites. So write this down if you've never heard me say this. Life moves in the direction of your most dominant thought. So that's why I'm asking you, how do you think about being single? What did society and or religion teach you about being single? Because your life moves in the direction of your most dominant thought. So if you have negative connotation about being single, of course your love life is trash. Because you're constantly trying to get this goal in life, which society and religion teaches us, is to get married and have kids. That's the goal of a woman. And if you don't get there, somehow you're being punished. Somehow there's something wrong with you. Somehow you're unworthy. That's what you think about being single. And I'm just realizing I do not like this lighting. I want to be in a room with the big windows, but the window room was booked. So I had to be down here by the kitchen. I'm in a co-working space. But that's how you think about being single. And if that doesn't change, if your mindset does not change, you will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter, hating men, hating your life. I suck. I'm not worthy. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not funny enough. I'm not. Because you think a man defines you. Your identity is tied to that. And so if I'm in a relationship, whew, thank God, that means I'm good enough for this world. And I don't say this in judgment. I say this in love. I say this as the homegirl in your head. If you're younger than me, I say this as your big sister because I've been there. From 2015 to 2017, I was with a man who called me everything under the sun but a child of God. He was all the things that I was not aware of. I didn't even know narcissism was a word back then. I didn't know about projection. I didn't know about trauma bonds. I didn't know none of that. So I didn't know what I was going through. All I know is I was confused. And I was steady trying to build this man up to what I saw in him because I fell for potential. And whoo, he was fine. I ended up cutting off friends for him because he was jealous of all my guy friends. And I was like, well, if I love him, then I need to show. And they say relationships are hard. So I guess, yeah, that's a compromise I can accept because I have to be married. So I accepted all of the things that I did not have to accept because my mindset was, well, relationships, they always say relationships don't last nowadays. So I got to stick it out. The longer I stay with him, the better he will become. Let me ask you this. How well is that mindset working out for you? It did not work out for me. So you will always be in a cycle of dysfunctional relationships or bitter if this doesn't change your mindset. And I'm talking to the woman, the professional woman. You're single. You have your life together, career-wise, financially you good, all bills are paid, but you steady dating men who take you to work and drive your car around town and ain't really got a job or has a job, but he's not as high up as you. And then his insecurities he's having with himself, he takes it out on you. He takes the traumas of his childhood out on you. But you see potential, so you stay because I just got to buff him up real quick. Let me shine him up. How well is that working out for you? And what is it costing you to stay in that cycle of dysfunction? What is it costing you? So you're in this cycle of dysfunction. What is it costing you to stay? Just curious. All right, so let's talk about this, your mindset, right? So what you're currently trying to do to get out of that cycle of dysfunction because you know it's wrong and you're unhappy and you're like, something has to change. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? So like I said, you're trying willpower. Well, I won't sleep with him for like 2 weeks and I'm gonna tell him exactly what I want and that'll make him the man. Then he'll just know and he'll be a good man for me. How many times have you told a guy exactly what you wanted and the relationship was still trash? But I told him, but you passed up all the red flags. You tried to set a boundary, but then broke it. You didn't keep your boundary. And now you're trying to build him up to help him become. So that's what you're currently trying to do because you know, well, I'm unhappy and this is trash. So I'm going to try to fix it. You want to leave, you stay because, but I love him. And your mindset around being single. So there's a disconnect between he's treating me like trash and I know I should leave, but you don't. Here's what's wrong with that. How has that been working out for you? The woman you want to be, let's talk about her. So again, the disconnect is there, you know, the woman you want to be in this lane, in the lane that I speak about and coach on. Who do you want to be? How do you want to think about being single? How do you want dating to be different for you? Because again, I help women, the single professional woman, stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships. So where do you want to be? I want to pull that woman out of you. You want to be single and happy. Does that sound about right? Right. You want to not have your identity tied to a man. Does that sound about right? You would love to not have to keep searching for relationships. And I'm always dating and I'm on these dating sites, but I keep taking this man back as well. And I'm in these situationships and it's all draining. Pretty sure you don't want to be that woman. That's the woman you're trying to run from. You would truly love to be happy, single, and not settling. Wouldn't that be nice? So if that's the woman you want to be, let me ask you this. How are you going to get there? What is the vehicle that's going to take you from where you are now to the woman you actually want to be? Especially if what you've been trying is not working. Willpower, advice from friends, good intentions. Maybe you're even journaling. Maybe you've even been to therapy, but there's still a disconnect. You're doing all the above, the therapy, affirmations. I'm a good woman. I know I'm a good woman. I deserve better. I'm da, 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 da. But every 2 weeks, you take the same guy back, or you're dating the same type of men, just different name, but the same kind of relationship. So what is the vehicle that will take you from where you are now to the woman you want to be? If that sounds like you, let's keep going. Because if you don't know what that vehicle is, if you've tried all these other things and it's not working and you don't know where else to start with me. Let's talk about Single You Academy and an investment in yourself. Let's talk about, before we talk about Single You Academy, the things that you are spending money on that is wasteful. Men. How many times have you invested your time and money in a man? Because again, I'm talking to the single professional woman. Because you got your career together, financially, you doing all right, but you're in this cycle of dysfunction with men because now you're trying to raise him up to where you are. You know what I used to do? When me and my abusive ex would go out, I would just give him the cash because I wanted him to feel like a man. Okay, baby, here's the money so you can pay. Because I wanted to be taken out on a date, but he couldn't afford it. But the way I thought about being single, it kept me in that relationship because I was trying to be the ride or die. And I was letting him disrespect me constantly, cheat on me, apologize. I'm okay with it. Okay, I take you back. Blah, blah. He'll change because he said he will, but he says he loves me. I used to think just because a man said, girl, you know I love you, that meant he loved me. If you're falling for that, I would argue you don't even know the true definition, the true godly definition of love. So what are you spending money on? Because we're going to talk about money blocks and investing in yourself. Because the reason why you will stay in this cycle of action is if you don't change your mindset. You have to change your mindset about singleness, and you have to change your mindset about investing in yourself. Because what is it costing you to stay in the cycle of dysfunctional relationship, doing all of the same things you've been doing before, trying to break this cycle? So what I'm trying to say is you got to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. And I always tell potential clients when they book calls, it doesn't have to be me, But I obviously am the only person in front of you giving you a blueprint on how to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships. I've done it for her, myself first, went on my own journey, went on my solo trip to Mexico, got myself healed. And then I was like, I want to help other women do this as well. Break this cycle. So is that's it fit. What's your real name, baby girl? Okay, so you're asking, why do I stay in the relationship when I get emotionally abused? Because he's faithful and loyal and doesn't have any kids. I feel like I'll never find that again. Exactly. This is mindset. Hey, Maria, your mindset is thinking in lack. You just said it. You answered your question. Now, if you want to go deeper with the answer to that question on thinking, I'll never find, a man like this again. First of all, baby girl, he's emotional, abusive, and you're like, but he doesn't have kids, so I'm going to weigh the pros and cons. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And in relationships, to me, it's not either or. It's both. I'm not doing this either or relationship anymore. It's excuse me. But if you thought of relationships differently, you wouldn't be in that situation. And again, I'm not saying this to judge you. I was there for 2 years. I was in a relationship just like that. Well, I was like, well, he has these good qualities, even though the rest, while I was being emotionally abused, he was calling me everything under the sun but a child of God. Blah, 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 blah. But I was like, but he has these qualities. He can turn into a good man. Maya Angelou told us, and she's been trying to tell us for years, when people show you who they are, believe them. But you will never believe them if your lens on life is singleness is a punishment and I got to get out of this trap. I got to get out of this waiting room so I can start my life. But I love him, so I have to stay. The Bible don't talk about suffering and love at all. Nowhere, period. End of story. So what are you spending money on that isn't returning you anything? Men, Uber Eats, shoes, got all the subscriptions in the world when you can be using that money to actually invest in yourself so you can get a tangible life change. No, it's not going to bring you a Louis Vuitton purse or whatever, but your life will change. Because how your life is now, how's that working out for you? I want you to invest in yourself, whether it be me or a different avenue. What's the vehicle though? Because it can't be what you've been doing because it's not working. We're here and it's not working. The evidence has now shown it's not working. I want to teach you inside of Single You Academy my 4 pillars to living a successful single life. 4 pillars. 2 things you need to know. You need to know who you are. Deeper than my favorite color is blue. Maria, just like you asked that question, you feel like you don't know the answer because you don't know who you are. Why would you stay in a relationship like that? You have to know who you are because men, society, religion will tell you then if you don't know. I used to think, well, I can't see myself, right? Unless I'm looking in the mirror or looking here on live. But I can't see myself, so other people are allowed to tell me how I'm coming off, and it must be true. So when my ex would tell me I'm coming off as sneaky and I'm a liar and I'm cheating on him and this and that, and he would accuse me of all of these things, I thought, well, he must be right. Maybe I am coming off as sneaky. Maybe I need to change, blah, 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 blah. Instead of knowing, in fact, that is projection because he's cheating on me. So the person screaming the loudest about what they don't like about you, it's because they are doing it. It's not because you are. 9 times out of 10, I would guarantee is projection. So My 4 pillars to living a successful single life, because your single life can be unsuccessful. We only think of relationships that don't last as unsuccessful. Or I was unsuccessful in passing the driver's ed test, whatever. You don't think about being single as successful or unsuccessful. You don't think of that. Maria, I'm not really understanding your question. You said you cheated in the past, but you changed? Sure. I'm not saying that people can't change in that area. I'm saying my abusive ex was cheating on me the whole time. I didn't know, but he was accusing me of cheating on him the whole time. But I was not. That is called projection. All right, let me get through this. My 4 pillars to living a successful single life. 2 things you need to know. You need to know who you are deeper than my favorite color is pink. I like long walks on the beach. So you need to know who you are, and then you need to know what you want and how to get it. Because you know what you want. You want a healthy relationship. How do you get it? Who sat you down and said, okay, this is the difference between healthy hard versus abusive. This is healthy compromise versus dysfunctional. There's a difference between healthy relationships versus unhealthy. So you know what you want, but how do you get it? And then the last 2 pillars are behaviors you have to embody. You have to have the audacity to believe you can get what you want. So you know who you are, you know what you want and how to get it. Now you have to have the attitude. You have to carry that with you. I have the audacity to believe that I could have a man who's loyal, doesn't cheat on me, and respects me, and is emotionally intelligent, and has no kids, and. I don't do this well. He has this, but not this. I don't do that. And then the last pillar is the patience to wait for it, because how many times have you settled? Again, this is your mindset on how you think about being single and how you think about investing in yourself. Because they don't teach us, there is no, so that if you want, my brain is going faster than my mouth. If you want to learn how to drive, you got to go to school for that. And then, of course, we have regular school. And then there's trade school. There's all these schools for everything except for a self-love school. If you want to be a doctor, you know what to do. There's the blueprints out there. But if you want to be in love with yourself, where do you go? If you want to learn about healthy relationships, if you want to learn how to hold boundaries, where do you go? That's why I created Single You Academy. It's literally a school that gives you tangible tips on how to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships for the professional single woman. Maria, send me a DM. So the application process to Single You Academy, it ends tomorrow. So we got to get you in. We got to get you in to apply. I want to see if you would be a good fit. I have some more questions that I want to ask you, Maria. And then you'll fill out your application. We'll book a call and then we'll get on Zoom. And then you'll decide if Single You Academy is a good fit for you, which it seems like it will be. Because if you feel like I'm a single professional woman, I have my life together, my career, my finances, I'm doing all right. I'm not struggling. I can pay all my bills. But for some reason, over here in this bucket of relationships, my relationships are trash. And you're wondering why that is. I can help you. If you're ready to make the investment and you are excited about getting your mindset changed. The Bible talks about be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That is my mission statement. That's my pillar. That's pillar number 1 in Single You Academy. Oh, we're going to change your life because your mind is about to be changed. All right. So let me see if I had anything else I wanted to tell you. Let me see. Okay. So again, all right, I'm going to end it on this. So right now, your current situation in life, for those that are just tuning in. Hi, my name is Rika. Okay. And right now, your current situation in life is feeling like, why do I continue to be in a dysfunctional relationship? Why do I continue to allow men to treat me like trash? Or this one guy? It's this revolving door with this one guy or a few guys. And you're weighted down, you're heavy, you're left feeling empty because you keep trying to pour into a man and help him become the potential you see. That's your current situation. You're a professional woman, you got your life together, finances are together, you pay all your bills on time, but you're steady dating bums, men that you have to build up. And you get no love, no reciprocal, whatever, in return. It would be one thing if it was a loving relationship and y'all were building each other up, but this relationship, you're the one who's loving. He is disrespectful. That's your current situation. Where you want to go? You want to be a woman who is happy single. You don't want to have your identity tied to a man. You don't want to keep searching for relationships. You just want to be happy and single and date from that seat. You want to know who you are, know what you want and how to get it. You want to have the audacity to believe that you can get it and the patience to wait for it. And if you're in this space of everything I've tried, journaling, advice from friends, good intentions, believing in potential, hoping he will change, if you tried all of that and it's not working, and you want to try something new, you want to invest in yourself, but you don't know where to start. You want to start loving you. You want to discover your worth so that you can stop tying your worth and identity to men. You don't know where to start. You start with me. My name is Rika, and I'm the founder of Single You, the podcast. I'm a certified NLP, that's Neuro Linguistic Programming. So I am the creator of Single You Academy, and I use my skill set, the helping you change your mindset. So I'm a mindset and boundaries coach, a self-love coach. I am not a dating coach. This is not a dating program. And I help the single professional woman stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships with men. And my clients are professional women, typically in their 30s and 40s, who are like, yo, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm sick and tired of having my professional life together, but not my love life. Rika, I need help. I got you. So how do you apply? Well, send me a DM right now. Because I don't let every woman join Single You Academy. It's a certain type of culture I have in my academy. And so I want you to send me a DM, okay? If you're watching on Facebook, send me a DM on Facebook, obviously. If you're watching on Instagram, send me a DM on Instagram. I have a couple of questions. I will tell you this, Single You Academy, the doors close for this group, excuse me, tomorrow. And we start class next week. So this is time sensitive. But it should be. This is your life. Because what is it costing you to stay in the cycle of dysfunctional relationships? What is it costing you? And I'm just going to pause because I want you to think about that. What is it costing you to stay in the cycle of dysfunctional relationships? Okay, that's enough time to think about it. I know you thought of peace, your happiness, maybe your hair is falling out now, so your hair, your looks, time. Who wants to keep wasting time in a relationship that's trash? That sucks. So the doors to Single You Academy, the application process ends tomorrow. So send me a DM right now and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I have some qualifying questions I want to ask you. And then the next step is if I feel I can help you, you will apply to Single You Academy, which means you will book a discovery call. It'll be you and we'll talk about yourself, how I can help you inside of the program, and then you make the decision that is best for you. Sound good? All right, have a great rest of your today's. Hey, Stephanie, Thursday. There we go. All right. Bye. If you have any questions, don't forget, DM me.